Welcome back to my channel, where we bring you the most exclusive and emotionally intense updates from the Royal Palace of Dubai. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my future videos. Trust me, the drama, secrets, and power plays that unfold behind those palace walls are things you don't want to miss. In my last video, I shared with you a major twist. Sheikh Hamdan's current wife, Sheikha Thani, reached out to his ex-wife Hadia Zen and revealed a shocking piece of information that shook the foundation of the royal family. And today, I'm going to tell you the full story that followed. Every emotion, every betrayal, and every move in this high-stakes power struggle over the future of the Crown Prince title. It all started when Sheikha Thani, glowing with pride, contacted Hadia Zen. With an air of victory and subtle condescension, she informed Hadia that little Mohammed, her son with Sheikh Hamdan, had been chosen as the next Crown Prince of Dubai. She claimed the decision was not just verbal, it was official, written, signed, and sealed by none other than Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Hamdan's father and the ruler of Dubai. This declaration hit Hadia like a thunderbolt. Her son, little Rashid, the eldest child of Sheikh Hamdan, had always been presumed by tradition and birthright to inherit the title. In Hadia's eyes, this decision was not only unfair, but also a brutal betrayal of lineage, legacy, and law. Hadia broke down in tears, devastated beyond words. The image of her son being denied his rightful place haunted her. The thought of her child being sidelined, despite being the firstborn, ignited a storm of emotions she could no longer contain. In that moment of heartbreak, Hadia picked up the phone and called Sheikh Hamdan. The conversation was anything but calm. She yelled, cried, and unleashed her pain. How could you let this happen? How could you be so careless with Rashid's future? You're his father. You're supposed to protect him. Sheikh Hamdan, caught off guard, tried to explain. He told her that he had just found out about the agreement himself. He reassured her that he had not signed anything, that the document, though sealed by Sheikh Mohammed, held no validity without his own signature. But Hadia was too emotional to hear it. Her pain was too loud, her fears too overwhelming. Every word she threw at him pierced his heart. In frustration and sorrow, Sheikh Hamdan ended the call. It wasn't a decision made in anger, but in emotional exhaustion. Her words had cut too deep. That night, Sheikh Hamdan couldn't sleep. The weight of the situation, the pain in Hadia's voice, the conflict between what's right and what's official, kept him awake. The next morning, he reached out to someone he could trust completely. Someone who has been a source of comfort and clarity for him. Shama. He asked to see her, and she welcomed him to her elegant mansion. Over a quiet, emotionally heavy conversation, Sheikh Hamdan shared everything: the secret agreement, Hadia's reaction, and his own guilt. Shama listened patiently, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the chaos in Hamdan's heart. When he finished, she gently said, "You need to speak to Hadia again." This time, not in the heat of emotion, but with reason, with compassion. Assure her of Rashid's future. Show her that you still stand by your son. Hamdan knew she was right. He nodded, took a breath, and promised to call Hadia again. The next day, Sheikh Hamdan dialed Hadia's number. This time, his voice was calm, composed, and filled with purpose. He explained everything again, slowly and thoroughly. He reminded her that he had not signed the agreement, and without his signature, the document held no power. He told her that he still believed in their son Rashid's future, that in his heart, Rashid was always meant to be the crown prince. Hadia listened. This time, she wasn't yelling. She was crying softly, but the tears were now of hope, not despair. Sheikh Hamdan then asked her to trust him. He said he needed time, but he would ensure that when the moment came, Rashid would be acknowledged. He asked her to keep the matter quiet for now, until the timing was right. Hadia, moved by his words and the sincerity in his voice, agreed. She promised to wait and stay silent. Their conversation ended on a note of restored trust. Meanwhile, Sheikha Thani was living in a different world. To her, the matter was already settled. She had the document, the seal, and the support of Sheikh Mohammed. She believed that little Muhammad's destiny as crown prince was now undeniable. She walked the palace halls with confidence. Her son was being treated with royal importance. Her status had elevated. She felt invincible. What she didn't know was that her husband, Sheikh Hamdan, was quietly working behind the scenes to reverse the course of destiny she believed was fixed. His silence wasn't agreement, it was strategy. Just as things seemed to settle, another twist shook Sheikh Hamdan. He received a formal call from his father, Sheikh Mohammed. The tone was commanding, not conversational. "Double Sheikha Thani's monthly allowance," Sheikh Mohammed ordered. Hamdan, taken aback, asked respectfully, "May I know why, father?" Sheikh Mohammed responded simply, "It's part of the agreement." Hamdan was stunned, but he did not protest. He agreed without showing resistance. He knew the game had just begun, and right now he had to play his cards carefully. And so, the palace returned to a temporary state of calm. Outwardly, everything looked perfect. Sheikha Thani felt victorious. Hadia felt reassured. Sheikh Mohammed believed the matter was closed. But Sheikh Hamdan knew better. This was not the end. It was just the beginning. He had a mission: to protect the rightful inheritance of his son Rashid and to ensure that justice, not politics, shaped the future of Dubai's royal leadership. He knew that silence was his weapon, and patience was his ally. What Sheikha Thani didn't know was that her moment of joy might be short-lived, because behind closed doors, Sheikh Hamdan was already planning his next move. not just as a father, but as a leader who would not let injustice stand. So these are the latest updates from Sheikh Hamdan's royal circle. A secret agreement, a mother's heartbreak, a prince caught in a silent war, and a father standing quietly in the shadows, preparing to change everything. What will happen next? Will Sheikha Thani find out that her victory is not as secure as she thought? Will Sheikh Mohammed realize that his decision may divide his own bloodline? You'll find out everything in my next video. Until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any future updates.